Hello and welcome to the Monday live stream. My name is Igor and this is the channel where we build and maintain open source and free to use applications. We are focusing on vibe engineering and vibe coding, and recently we are working on the Agentic IDE. The name is Shikigami, and my goal is to make it one of the most greatest Agentic IDE that will be available for free for you. Let's go. So first thing to look at. This is our website, shikigami.dev. As you can see, a little more than 10 days till the public launch. So if you are new here and you are not familiar with the Shikigami application, this is the Agentic IDE that allows you to switch between agentic coding and the editor tab for your projects, for your applications. You can create workspaces, multiple workspaces, and then within these workspaces you can start cloud sessions, multiple sessions, or a single session, it depends. You can suspend them, you can stop them, you can resume them. It's really up to you. And then there is the editor area that I mentioned, where you can preview the code of your application and code manually if you want. Okay, so this is Shikigami, not that much more than 10 days and 4 hours. If you want to follow, if you don't want to miss it, then please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. Let's take a look at our board. So we have a few things in the manual verification. We're gonna take a look at them soon. And I've added a few new things to the to-do list and two bugs. So now we have 4 bugs and 7 things in the to-do list. Let's take care of a few today. So this is Shikigami. And the last time we worked on a settings model. This is the settings model where you can define default configuration for your agents. You decide what is the default model and the effort. As well, you can switch between light and the dark mode, and for now there are 2 new options. One of them is to enable or disable notifications on the OS level system, on the system level, and also one new thing in the appearance area. This is the agent activity glow on or off in the terminal in a session. Okay, so my default is Opus and the default model is Opus and the default effort is high. That is what works best for me. So I'm gonna take ticket for that issue into done. So default settings, glow on and off switch. Last time we've also added a label. If there is a Git configured within a workspace, then you should see the name of a branch that you are working on and an option to switch between them. Okay, so this is done as well. Let me move the card. Yeah, we started working on a notification system that is within the application. For example, if there are things that are happening in the background, like cleanup or the cleanup is the first thing that we've added, that we are subscribing to, but there will be more of them, of course, once we progress with development of the application. And this could be things like indexing or Git operations that will happen in the background. Then in the right bottom corner there will be a notification. Maybe we will see it even today. Let's see. But I've tested it off stream and this is done, so I'm also moving that to done. And a new thing in the editor area. New thing in the editor area is history preview. Git history preview. And we're gonna work on that to extend it even more and make it more useful. So for now, this is just a list with visual representation of a history. And for sure, we're gonna add in the future an option to click on a commit, specific commit, and then see details of that commit. Like what exactly has been changed. And metadata that are also around the commit, like the timestamp or author, whatever. Everything that is useful. So okay, that thing as well I'm moving into done. Okay, so that's the state. New things moved into done. I verified them off stream and now let's take a look at to do. I think we're gonna start from MD files preview. Yeah, a button to stage all changes. Because if you go into editor and then this is the button for Git functionalities and Git operations. As you can see, there are two things that are the two changes that are waiting to be staged. And I want to add a button to stage all changes at once. So you can decide if you want certain files to be staged or all of them that are waiting. Okay, so let's start with these two tasks. And as usual, we're gonna work on a dedicated worksheet that will be created for you, so you don't have to worry whenever you work on a feature or a bug and you don't want to touch main branch or the root of the project that you are working on. You can create a new worksheet, an isolated space for your agent that it's gonna work in that separated area. So okay, one for the MD files preview and another one for Git stage all changes button. And as well new worktree. I want you to work on a option to preview MD files. So I want to switch between editor, a raw representation of an MD file, and a formatted with a formatted preview option. We can brainstorm on this idea if something is unclear, but for sure this action should be reserved only for MD files and should be available only in the editor area. So once you detect that a certain file is an MD file, I want you to show a small switch button in the top right corner to allow users to switch between raw MD file representation and formatted, rendered view. Okay, so that is one thing, and the other is a button to stage all changes. We can. Okay, so this is this is a form where you can type a commit message, and somewhere below the commit button we can add a stage all, a smaller button to stage all the changes. So let me take a screenshot. As you can see, there is an option to drag and drop, and the Shikigami is understanding. It detects that you want to drop an image, so that this is fully supported. You can either copy and paste from a clipboard, or you can drag and drop an image. I want you to brainstorm on an idea to add a button that will allow users to stage all changes that are waiting to be committed. We can start from a mockup to decide where to put the action button. Okay, we can ask the files preview agent okay, it doesn't have to remember if you switched to preview or not. Maybe default could be raw, just for simplicity. Well, you can at the same time run a sub-agent that will try to find a good library with a history. I don't want to use something that was published a month ago. If there is a library that we can easily use in our application and it's gonna work well, then we can use the library. Which option do you recommend regarding the images and HTTPS requests? Okay, so we have two things, but for sure we can add a third one. So now, as you can see, if you modify the file and you would like to preview difference before and after commit, and now it shows you these two columns preview. So what I would like to have is an option to switch between a unified preview, so you see one file with changes, with information what lines changed and what the change is, or as you see it now, side by side. So we have side by side, and we have to add the unified a button that will allow us to see unified version of a difference. And by the way, this is a bug I've already added it into the bugs list. We're gonna resolve it later. I want you to add a feature, a mechanism to allow users to switch between a unified and side-by-side preview of Git changes. Now, whenever you click on a modified file, we only see two columns. It means a side-by-side difference presentation. I want to have an option to switch between side-by-side and a unified preview. We can add a button below or above, below a tabs toolbar. So it should be placed, somewhere here. We can start from creating a mockup, or you can visualize for me where we can place that selector for these two ways of rendering changes. Okay, so the localhost server for Stage All Changes button is ready. Let's take a look. Okay, so there are three options. Well, the first one, I don't like the first one. Okay, let me make it bigger for you. So I don't like the first one for sure. Maybe the third one. Dear chat, if you are here, you can as well let me know what you think, or in the comments section down below if you watch it later. But okay, I believe the third option might be the best one for now. I choose option C. Okay, please spin up the localhost server and show me. Okay, and what the MD files preview guy is doing. Okay, sorry, I was distracted. So, okay, so we have a server for unified and side-by-side view for the Git changes. Let's take a look. Okay, and I think the first option is the best one, because it's right. It is right below tabs, and as well there is a text, so it looks like it's the best one and the most intuitive. Okay, I like option A. Okay, so it means you don't need to write a plan. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the great release in about 10 days. I want you to write a plan, and then I want to run 2 sub-agents. One of them should focus on the code, and the other one should focus on the architecture of the solution. Okay, and the agent asked about how we want to store settings side by side or a unified preview, and we're gonna store it globally. So once you switch between from side by side to unified, then in all workspaces you will see it this way. It doesn't make sense to save it per workspace. Okay, so it has all it needs to prepare a plan finally. Then the Git stage all changes button, this is in progress. So let's take a look at the MD file. Okay, so it means that for now we're gonna ban loading external images. And what about the rest? We're gonna use a library, or we're gonna implement everything on our side? Okay, that looks good. Please prepare a spec. Okay, that looks good. And whenever we detect that there is an external image, we can put a placeholder and as well render the path of that image, just to inform users that this is external and as well this is the path. And what about the library? What's the name of the library that you choose? Okay, good. So now I want you to prepare the plan and run code reviews and architecture review after the plan is created to verify if everything is correct and matches our current architecture. Okay, good. So stage all changes button is ready. So let's go with the implementation. Okay, so I want you to start working on it with a sub-agent mode, and please remember to run code review after each milestone, and then at the end final code review and final architecture review. Okay, good. So empty file preview is ready, the spec. Okay, cool. So please continue and prepare a plan, and I want you to run sub-agents. You can run as many as you want to verify if the plan is correct and if it matches the architecture and best practices that we have in our application. I want you to specifically focus on correct usage of the library, performance of that solution, and extensibility. Also, please remember to cover new functionalities with proper unit tests, actually. But okay, so they are busy, so let's take a look. Maybe we can take care of one of the bugs. Yeah, maybe the one that we've seen. So if I go to editor, then I'm gonna click on change, whatever, doesn't matter, on any file that is modified, and then I go to agent decoding, that this is what happened. Yeah, so let's take a screenshot. Okay, and again, as usual, new work tree, high effort. Now I'm pasting the image. I want you to verify what is happening here. I believe there is an issue with detecting that user switched from editor to agentic coding, and still artifacts from editor area are leaking into another view, which is agentic coding view. And what you see is a result of an action. Yeah, and now I'm gonna tell it. So I was previewing a modified file in the editor area. I didn't close it, and then I moved to the agentic coding area, and I could still see a preview being rendered above, on top of my terminal sessions. I think I also have a console error. I'm gonna paste it as well. Maybe it will be useful. And one more thing. I want you to skip the systematic debugging in this case. Yeah, sometimes systematic debugging is over-engineering, especially for fairly simple things. But unfortunately, this is a part of Superpowers skill pack, so you have it by default. I don't know, if you know a way to disable it, please let me know in the comments section, or maybe in the chat if you are here, because for now I just have the whole package, and maybe in the future I will create or maybe I will fork them to just use only what I want, not everything. But okay, so actually that card I'm moving into progress right away, and the rest almost ready. Okay, stage role changes is as well in progress. Good, I'm moving it here. Okay, and there are two plans that are in the review, or will be in the review soon. Yeah, so MD files preview is just has been passed to the next stage, and the unified view is in review at the moment. Yeah, this is good. Okay. If you have an idea how to improve Shikigami, please let me know in the comment section, because what I'm doing now are mostly, what we are working on are mostly things that are relevant to me and will be useful to me in my everyday work. But I'm open as well for feedback from your side. If you are here live or you watch it later, please let me know what is the common thing that you use every day in your IDE and you believe will be useful as well in the Agentic IDE. I want you to merge all the changes to the local main branch and then clean up the work tree and the branch that was associated with it. Yeah, so the next time we can verify the state, if the button is there and if it works. Actually, I would like to start one more thing. It's gonna be a simple change, simple improvement. So UI improve foreground, background, and button. And the thing is that when you click, so there are 3 buttons here. Every agent has 3 buttons. Sorry, as you can see. So the first one is to suspend it, then second one is to remove it, and the third one gives you an option to bring it to the front. So all others are working in the background, but you have full width, height, preview of a session, and there are 2 things that needs to be improved. So the first one is that we lose scrolling behavior whenever we bring it to the front. So as you can see, I can scroll here. I click on the bring to the front and I cannot scroll. You have to trust me, I cannot scroll now. But then everything works once we move it to the back again. So that is the first thing, it's a bug. But the improvement is that I would like to indicate a bit better that I'm bringing an agent to the front. Because I had a situation that I worked on something, then I had a break, come back again, and because these buttons looks almost the same, I had no clear indicator that I couldn't see that, okay, this guy is, that I brought it to the front. So that needs to be improved visually. And of course the bug that I just showed you. But okay, first thing is to improve the button. So let me take a screenshot. And this is the drag and drop indicator. As you can see, that is how it works. So each session detects that you are dragging an image, and you can just release the mouse button and you drop it here. Nothing too complex, but very useful. But okay, let's focus on the improvement. I want you to improve an indicator for the third button, which is bring agent to the front, or in other words, to maximize a session. Now there is no difference, there is no color difference between an agent working in the split mode and a single mode. So I would like you to design a color indicator on the third button whenever an agent is working in the solo view. We can brainstorm on it if you want to. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do. Yeah, we have uncommitted changes, but that's not a problem. So I want you to commit all these changes. And it doesn't matter if these changes are not part of your work. Okay, good. Okay, and the unified view. So I want you to run sub-agent driven implementation, and then please remember to run code review after each milestone, and then final code review and the final architecture review of all the changes that you worked on. And dear chat, I see there are a few people, so there is a question to you if you are programmers, because I'm really curious if you are programmers, and if you are not watching this live, please also let me know. I'm very curious what is my audience, if you are looking for agentic IDEs because you are programmers, or maybe this is your hobby, vibe coding or vibe engineering applications. So please let me know in the comments section or in the chat. And if you are programmers, then please let me know what is your favorite programming language. For me, this is PHP. And my favorite framework is Symfony. Okay, good. So once you know what is the issue, please prepare a fixed implementation plan and then run code review on this plan. And because this is a switch between two different modes, I also want you to run an architecture review. Okay, good. So we have first thing finished today, which is the stage all changes button. Okay, cool. Thank you for your work today. Or maybe, you know what, maybe we're gonna ask it a question, because I see a few people in the chat, but maybe you are too shy to respond. So let's ask it. You know, for the last few weeks, I run a YouTube channel. So maybe you can guess what is the favorite programming language in my audience. Actually, I should say among my viewers, but okay, it is smart enough to understand. Okay, it says JavaScript and TypeScript. If it's right, please let me know. And for now, thank you for your service, dear agent. Okay, and that means that we can move that guy to the manual verification. Oops. And as well the MD files preview. This is ready as well for the implementation. Okay, cool. I want you to run it with sub-agent driven development. Then please run code review after each milestone and the final code review and the architecture review. Especially, I want you to focus on performance of the solution and best practices. Yeah. And okay, so unified view Git is as well in progress. And the Git changes preview. Okay, this guy is still working on a plan. Okay. Okay, so this is the state. We had 3 things in progress. Well, what there are 4? I missed something. Ah, yeah, because we have to move this into planning. So the UI improvement. Okay, please spin up a localhost server and show me what are your ideas, and please prepare at least 4 different ideas. Ideas options. And yeah, so now we have 4 agents again. So now it's the time to start another one. And this guy should take care of the bug that I just showed you a few minutes ago. So whenever you click on maximize an agent session, then the scroll disappears. So now it's the time to fix that finally. Yeah, and of course high effort and 1 agent and a dedicated work tree. So again, just to remind you, or if you just joined, would like to know what I'm talking about. So we can run multiple sessions in the Shikigami application. And because if you add more and more to this view, then of course the terminal sessions are getting smaller and smaller, and it's hard to read sometimes. So there is an option to bring an agent to the front, and here is the bug. So we see the content. This is great, but there is no scroll bar available, so we cannot really see what is. Yeah, we see only part of the content. Then that's the issue. There is no scroll bar. Okay, so let me move the card, because if there is many things, it's easy to get lost. I want you to verify why whenever I take an agent to the front, I maximize a session from a split view into a solo view, why I am losing a scroll bar functionality. So even though a session is long and there is a lot of content, users cannot scroll because scroll disappears. And I want you to skip systematic debugging. I want you to figure it out on your own with a usual flow. And a friendly reminder, so the question for today is, are you a programmer? And if you are a programmer, then what is your favorite programming language? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments section down below. Thank you. Okay, and here are 4 options for the design of maximize minimize button. I guess it doesn't understand. So let's clarify it. So that's the guy. So what I want you to do is to make the button colorful when we maximize a session, not to indicate what is the state of an agent. That's not the point. I think there was a misunderstanding. Because what it shows here are different states in which agents can be. So working, awaiting, and no, that's not the issue. The issue is that you maximize a session and then you have no clear indicator that you maximize the session unless you remember that you did that. That's the issue. But okay, we have a question here from an agent that is working on the Git files preview not being disposed. Okay, so of course we have to include in this plan a bit broader scope just to do it right, not just to simply patch or silence the issue. So, okay, please include that. And here it's a review state. Yeah, and that's exactly what I want. So grid view, that's the current state for the grid view. That's what you see. Yeah, oh, sorry, maybe too big. Okay, now it should be. Now you should see it clearly. Okay, 4 options, and the first line is the default state when there is a split view or a grid view. So that's the first way. And then the second one, once you click on maximized, and if you, so dear chat, if you would like to help me, then I'm open. Which option you like best? So that's the state. So what we are looking at is, please look at the second line, and that's the state that should be visible once you click here. You bring it to the front, maximize, and then this button should be filled with a color, or maybe outlined, or I like the minimal design. So I like the option D, if you don't mind. And if you are not against, that's what we're gonna choose. Okay, so let's go for option D. Then I like the color, and I want you to implement option D. Okay, could you explain the difference between these two components? And I also would like to hear from you your recommendation. If you need broader knowledge, please run a sub-agent that will verify how the Xterm library works, and if there is a way to maximize a session and not lose the session content. Did you run reviews on that plan? Okay, so it means this is ready. And a friendly reminder, we also have a Discord server. The link is in the description of this video, and I will also later post a comment for you guys to find it easier. So the Discord server is a place where we want to exchange knowledge and learn from each other and support each other's in the vibe engineering and vibe coding. It depends what you like best. And sorry. Oh yeah. And as I said, there is a Discord server. Feel free to join. We are a small group, but very friendly. So don't be afraid. Okay, cool. So I want you to commit that and merge into the local main branch, and then please clean up the work tree. And this is how it looks now. So 10 days, 3 hours until the public release of the Agentic IDE of 2026. That is my mission, yeah. I want you to be a part of it. I am open for your feedback, your feelings around Shikigami. So not much more than 10 days. Okay, so as I understand, before the change, or actually currently, we have 2 different components that are used here, and then you are transferring session from one component to another. Okay, but what do you mean by transfer? I don't want you to suspend a session and then resume it in the maximized view. Okay, so this guy is thinking, and then UI improvement for the maximize button is done. So it means we can move that card to the manual verification, and we're gonna verify that next time. Okay, awesome. So it's time to say goodbye to this guy. No, I want you to first prepare an implementation plan. Once the plan is ready, please review it one more time carefully, and then we can proceed with an implementation. Okay, it's over an hour now, so we are gonna slowly finish this live stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the comments, likes, and new subscriptions. But before I go, let's start a sub-agent driven implementation for the Git files preview fix. Okay, cool. I want you to run sub-agent driven implementation, and please remember to run code review after each milestone, and then the final code review and the architecture review. And I also want you to make sure that we cover with tests all functionalities that you're gonna add, and also the one that were buggy before. The next time we have to take a look at the who is out of office application, because there is one improvement we have to make, at least one, and also I'm considering another one for auto approve mechanism, because as a user currently you have no idea that the auto approve functionality is on, and then there is no timer or a countdown for you to understand after what time or how long do you have to wait until your leave request will be accepted, auto-approved. And if you don't know who is out of office, then this is the web page of the project. It's the open source leave management application for small and medium teams. It is self-hosted, fully customizable, thanks to the open source approach here. And yeah, it's easy to test it locally. So this is the repository, who is out of office, and the homepage project URL is whois000.app. And then if you scroll down, you can see a list of features and integrations. So there are 3 integrations now available for you for free. You don't have to pay for it. The application is fully open source and nothing is behind the paywall. So there is a Slack integration, iCall Feeds integration, and an integration with a public holidays API. There is more than 100 countries supported. And if you want, I can also help you a bit with the configuration if you are looking for a more complex support with a server deployment and initial configuration. You can write me an email, and if you just would like to chat about the application, then you can find me on LinkedIn. The button is right here. We can connect and talk about maybe you need some support. There is also a documentation. I believe it's good enough, but you can always let me know if there is something missing. So let me take a look. Let me show you. Okay, there is no screenshot. Maybe I will add one at some point, because I wanted to show you the Slack integration example. Because you can configure a dedicated channel, and that channel will be used by the OOO application to send you weekly digestion status, who is out this week, who is on vacation, who is sick maybe, or whatever. And also the application allows you to configure a dedicated channel for managers where they can approve or reject from Slack. They don't have to log in, they can approve or reject requests. But okay, this is the thing that we're gonna take a look at next session. Okay, so if there are no more questions or open topics, let's take a last look at the Shikigami. Okay, good. So we have a plan for the maximize session. Scroll not available fix. I'm gonna start it later, and we have 3 things in progress. Okay, so this is the state for now. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the comments, subscriptions, suggestions, and feedback. And thank you for today. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, and see you next time. Bye bye.